This morning's guest has shredded his way to success. Meet him and find out about his business. Coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at East of Chicago Pizza, where pizza's done right at 3901 North Kings Highway in Myrtle Beach. We're focused on a small business in the area, and we're visiting with its founder and owner of Shredright, Adam Parness. Good morning. In the 2006 Small Business of the Year from the Myrtle Beach Area Chamber of Commerce, which was a huge coup.
It was great.
How the heck did you win that? I mean, all the competition for small businesses in the entire Myrtle Beach Area Chamber of Commerce?
It's customer service. Customer service.
When I saw you step up to accept that award at the big annual meeting there, I believe in October of 2006, to see that, or maybe it was last year, to celebrate 2006, whenever it was a pretty dang big deal.
Yeah. It was quite exciting for us, and we're really excited to have that designation attached to our company.
Absolutely. Did I also see your father at that event?
Yes, that's
He was there, which was very exciting, having some family members there.
Mom and Dad were both there.
That is tremendous, Adam. Well, of course, having some props here, not always do we have guests that have some cool props to bring in, but this is more than just cool. This is something that highlights everything that can be destroyed there at Shredright, and of course at Shred Alert, and of course the real excitement there, the opportunity to talk about recycling today as well. Great to get you in. Are you originally from the area, Adam?
I'm originally from a county called Rockland County in upstate New York, and I lived there until 1987.
Right.
Mom and Dad purchased a second home here in Garden City, and while I was here on vacation, I had applied for a job as a police officer in North Myrtle Beach, and I got the job. So I came down in 1987. I've been here ever since. It's been just over 21 years now.
Wow, that's tremendous. And of course, even more exciting, just celebrated the 6th anniversary for Shred Alert just this month.
Right, we started the company in August of 2002, and it's been going strong ever since. It's a great business. We really enjoy helping people help themselves.
Oh, absolutely. How did you make that transition from being, did you stay with the North Myrtle Beach Police Department your entire time before founding Shred Alert?
Well, I worked in North Myrtle Beach as a public safety officer, and you're a police officer with firefighting duties also. So you're cross-trained as a policeman and a fireman.
Wow.
And I left there, went to the Horry County Police, and worked there for another 5 years. And that's when I started a small business, which I had sold. I began a second small business, a printing company. And from that, I launched into the paper shredding company.
I did not know you'd done all that, Adam. My Lord.
We worked for, me and my brother started the printing shop, Pronto Press.
Right. Right.
And we used to work for our father's printing company in New York.
Is that right? Boy, well, you've got a few more years on you than I can imagine after 21 years down here if you were working in a printing business up in New York.
Don't give it
I know,
up.
I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to touch that. But, and of course, right now I see you're also a commercial real estate. You do some work there with Sperry, Van Ness, Commercial.
Yes, just I've been... Prior to real estate, I've been involved in the Horry County Planning Commission for a number of years, almost 9 years.
Right.
And I got, I got an education on growth and development and where growth is going, and it was just a natural transition when my term was expiring to go into real estate, and I concentrate on land tracts and commercial projects.
Right. Well, almost nine years there with the Horry County Planning Commission, but more 6 years, I believe I saw, plus as the chairman.
Yes, I was elected chairman by the members and served in that capacity for 6 years. It was quite challenging. It was actually fun to do the job, to be a part of the growth and development, and to actually see today the positive changes that we have put into Horry County. Just driving down 501, I can see it. I know what we did. I know the ordinances we created, and it's exciting to know that this county is growing in the right direction.
Absolutely. Share with viewers real quick why the county needs a planning commission. A lot of counties don't have one. Let's say even in our viewing area, some other counties may not have a real active planning commission.
Well, in South Carolina, it's state law that requires a planning commission to review all projects before it goes to the governing authority. And in our case, it would be county council.
Okay.
So anything that comes in front of county council that they're agreeing or they're voting for has already been looked at by the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission handles things such as creating ordinances, looking at zoning, and creating a comprehensive plan for the future.
Tremendous. And as you say, you really can see that on 501. There's probably not too many places in the county that you couldn't drive and see something that was impacted by the Horry County Planning Commission.
Absolutely. And you know, years ago, we've always been reactive for many, many years because of the way the growth has come about in this county, and it's just been very fast and rampant, some might say. But now, from that reactive stance, it's more proactive.
Right.
Everything is looking into the future and planning for tomorrow. When you hear when people run for office, they speak about quality of life, and really that's the goal of the Planning Commission and your governing authorities, your councils, your city, county councils, is to make sure that you have, whether you have a good quality of life or something that's improving.
What prompted you to accept to volunteer for the Horry County Planning Commission almost 9 years ago? I mean, that's a tremendous responsibility.
Well, I was running for office in
really?
1998. I ran for county council.
Right.
And came just a few votes short of getting that designation.
Is that right?
About
Congratulations.
35 votes.
Oh, come on.
So I was kind of short.
What district was that?
It was District 8 in Conway.
Okay.
And it was an interesting race. Ran against Ms. Gilland, who's the chairman now.
Oh, the chairman of county, yes.
And, but she wasn't the chairman at the time.
Right.
A lot of other factors had existed in that race that had nothing to do with politics or government. It was just
she an incumbent at the time?
She was the incumbent.
Correct. Wow.
And I was really living in Socastee, but my lines got redrawn and my subdivision got put in her district. And we jokingly today say, you know, she was trying to help me, but it didn't work, and I ended up running. She says I ran against her. So today we have a great relationship. Being chairman of council, me being chairman of the Planning Commission, we had to work together for many, many years, and I've enjoyed that relationship.
That's tremendous.
So while I was running for office, when the election was over, former councilman Marvin Hyde from Socastee had approached me and said, you know, Adam, you've really showed how you are and how much you care about this county during this election.
Right.
How would you like to serve on the Planning Commission? And I said, Marvin, I don't know anything about planning.
Yeah.
And he said, you'll do fine, you'll learn. So he appointed me to the Planning Commission. I got reappointed after 4 years, and been there for about 8.5 years. And
that's tremendous.
During that time, they created a term limit, so I had to leave, which is good because you always bring in new people with new ideas and a new way of doing things.
Well, that is a big deal. Now, would you ever consider possibly running for office again? Is that something that got in your blood?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Really? Yeah.
I ran again in 2002.
Right.
And against Liz one more time.
Oh boy.
Another close race, and it was 52% again, but it wasn't, the timing wasn't right. And I'm just going to enjoy being out of the political spotlight for a while before I make that decision. But yet, I'm most likely will run for something again in the future.
That's tremendous, Adam. Well, of course, focusing on Shred Alert, focusing on Sperry Van Ness trad commercial, and your two boys.
Yes.
Which is a big deal, and obviously very time-consuming. They started school this week.
Yes. On Monday night, they had orientation.
Right.
And yesterday was the first day, DJ and Matthew.
Right.
And they're 8 and 13, and they just they are happy to be back in school. I've never seen children. I remember when I was young, but they were happy to go back. They were excited, and it says a lot for the school. They go to Calvary Christian School on 544.
Great, yes, which has a tremendous background and really committed to, I'm sure, growing those boys and all their students.
It's a great feeling to know that your children are getting an education and that they're loved at the same time.
Right, very definitely. Adam, of course, all this sitting right here, when you think of that transition into founding the Shredright Corporation, now known as Shred Alert, this is a real big deal. What do you think spurred this door to open up, or what happened exactly?
Well, it's an interesting story. It was during the 2002 election. Something in the world of big business had occurred, and it was the Enron fiasco. And what intrigued me about the Enron disaster, so to speak, was not the illegality of what had occurred, but that some company showed up to their accounting firm's headquarters, which was Arthur Andersen,
right,
and destroyed their records in the parking lot. And I thought, that's a business? So I started doing a little research. I got on the internet, made some phone calls, and created a little marketing plan and did a business reply postcard to about 1,500 businesses in Horry and Georgetown County just to see if this was a type of service that was needed in this community.
Right.
I didn't know that there was already other companies which are located outside of the state,
right,
in other states in up north and out west that have a market share, and they come down and they destroy records here. I didn't know anything about that. I just started my company,
right,
got the response back and said, wow, this is a viable business.
Mm-hmm.
So in essence, I went into it, and it was just me. I bought a truck that had shredding equipment on the back, and I rented a warehouse, and I would go to an office and to one of these companies that responded on the business reply postcard, and I'd pick up their records, and I'd stand in the back of the truck and shred it and store it, and it just kept growing. And now there's 8 employees. We have 4 trucks on the road. We cover from Georgetown to New Hanover County in North Carolina.
Is that right? All the way up to Wilmington?
The other side of Wilmington, yeah.
That's tremendous, Adam. Golly, well, your trucks are on the road quite a bit.
They're busy, and it's identity theft is the fastest growing crime in America. 1 in 4 persons will become a victim this year.
No.
And there is state and federal law that requires businesses to destroy the records before they get discarded. Whether you do it in-house with a paper shredder or whether you use a professional shredding contractor such as our company, the law says you must do it. And I would venture to guess that only maybe 10% of companies actually do it.
Yeah, yeah. Now what, and that's federal law.
Federal law, yeah.
That requires that, and is it very basic? I mean, is this something that any business owner should understand?
Every business should destroy records. The law says that if you're handling anyone else's personal, private, financial, medical, anything could be their social security number, anything can be compromised, and it must be destroyed before it gets discarded. The beauty about a company like ours is we come in, our machines handle paper clips and staples and booklets.
Right.
We can run a 3-inch 3-ring binder full of records through the shredder, and everything gets destroyed. The paper, the binder, and the 3 metal rings.
You are kidding.
And
how does that shredder do that?
It's so powerful. This kind of shows you, this is a license plate.
Right.
And you can see inside the license plate, that's how powerful the blades
let me
are.
hold that up so see if viewers can get a sense of that. This is actually a license plate, or was a license plate, a South Carolina tag.
Don't spin it all the way around.
Right. Oh, that's right. Don't want to let anyone know whose it is.
And we also do, on top of, and this is what paper would look like. This is a shredded paper. And you can see it just breaks it up. Now you might be able to see words on the paper, just like any shredder.
Sure.
But after we shred the paper, it gets baled and compressed into these 1,500-pound blocks and goes to a paper mill for recycling.
So all the paper is recycled?
Everything gets recycled.
That's tremendous.
When it gets recycled, it goes down this conveyor belt where pulp and water and acid gets sprinkled on the paper, and the paper turns into liquid. So anything that you can see, this will become liquefied.